Hey guys, today we're talking about open number sentences. An open number sentence is when we have something called a variable inside of our number sentence. And a variable is something that is unknown. We don't know what it is. I know some of you are looking at that right now thinking, well, I already know what that is. Just pretend you don't for now. Because when in an open number sentence, we're going to say, this is not given to us, and that is what we need to figure out. Once we figure it out and we know what this x is, that is called our solution. Another word for solution is answer. So the goal in something like this is to figure out what the variable is. A lot of times in math, when we are working with variables, we use letters or other symbols. X is a very common one, so that's the one that we're going to use. So I'm going to give you a moment to pause. I want you to write down what a variable is and what a solution is, and what your definition of an open number sentence is right now. Alright, hopefully you had a chance to write those things down. Now we're going to look at how do we actually solve an open number sentence. Some of you are able to just look at that and know what it is. As we go through math and get more and more complicated, it's going to get much more complex, so it's important that we have kind of a set of steps to follow or a common way of thinking about it. So when I look at this one, the first thing I want to know is what operation am I working with? So I can see this is an addition open number sentence. In my mind, the way that I think about this is I think kind of the inverse or the opposite of the operation that's there. So this is addition. The inverse of that is going to be subtraction. So I like to think 15 minus 10 gives me what? Or I can think in terms of fact families. Which number is missing in this fact family? If I have a 15 and a 10, I'm looking for a 5. When I go to write my answer, the best way to do this, and your future math teachers would appreciate this, is if you rewrite everything and then just replace the variable with your solution, and then you kind of circle your solution like that. So we know that in this one, the x is worth 5 because 10 plus 5 is what gives you 15. Okay? I'm going to put up another example here. Let's do another addition one. Let's say we have x plus 12 equals, let's say 26. Okay. So I need to think what plus 12 gives me 26. And a good way to figure that out is go, oh, well, 26 minus 12 would give me that answer. And if I can't do that in my head, I just come off to the side and go 26 minus 12. I get a 4. I get a 1. So I'm saying my answer is 14, so I write that in place of my variable, and I rewrite everything else the way it was, and I circle my answer. And if at any point you are curious if your answer is actually correct, there's a couple things you could do. You could do 14 plus 12 and see if you get 26, or you could just check it on your calculator to make sure you got it right. Because I'm more interested in, can you do this process than are you getting your addition or subtraction right now. Okay. So let me put up another example, and I'm going to have you pause and see if you can figure out that answer. Let's do 8 plus x equals, let's say 25. Okay, so pause, see if you can get that answer now. Alright, hopefully you had a moment to figure this out. When I look at this one, I see a 25, I see an 8, and you think 8 plus what gives me 25, or I could think 25 minus 8 to undo the addition gives me what? If I'm not sure, I just come over here, I go 25 minus 8, I need to trade here, I'm getting a 17. 8 plus 17 equals 25, and I circle my solution. Okay. Now, there's many different kinds of open number sentences. You'll see addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. To undo addition, you use subtraction. To undo subtraction, you use addition. To undo multiplication, you use division. To undo division, you use multiplication. So we have kind of two pairs of things there. So don't let that confuse you. Also, they may not always use x as the variable. They may use something else. So let's look at an example of that. Let's say we have 36 divided by p equals 9. Okay. Again, that variable can be anything. Anytime you see this slash like this, that is going to be division. So I think to myself, what operation is happening? I see division. To undo that, I'm probably going to use multiplication in my thinking. So I could 36 divided by what equals 9, or 9 times what gives me 36. When I'm thinking what times 9 gives me 36, I'm thinking that's a 4. So if I say 36 divided by 4 equals 9, I circle it. I can check on my calculator. Okay? Or if I just know my fact families really, really well, I know that that is a correct answer. Okay? I'm going to put a couple of them up here. I want you to pause and just see how you do. Okay? Let's say we have 2 times, let's say b equals 12. Let's put another one up here. Let's say, I'm going to flip it around on you. It doesn't change how you should think about it, but 17 equals, let's say, 23 minus a. I'll throw one more up there. What if we did something like 8 plus y equals 12? Okay, so go ahead and pause and see if you can come up with those answers.